This is me recording a video out here outside of my college that I go to, and yeah, I'm just over here just chilling for a little bit. I was supposed to go ahead and have a job interview today, but that got canceled last minute. So, um, which is the place is like right across the street from this school, and yeah, so I'm just gonna talk about semen retention and that concept. I have been someone who has I have been relapsing, and a really huge relapse for me was I like this girl in one of my classes, right? And I figure out that she likes girls, and yeah, that kind of made me go down a negative loophole, and I ended up relapsing twice that day. When things really go bad, you tend to go ahead and fold towards whatever addiction, whatever thing you do. So if you smoke, if things are not going well, that's your first resort. If Since I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do no drugs, going and releasing is my sense of trying to go ahead and just take my mind off of it. And the unique thing, of course, with anything that we do, if it's smoking, if it's slapping your meat, the thing that you want to go ahead and get is that positive validation. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel that yourself is someone who is worthy of, or as someone that has value in your life. That is something that you're searching for. Think about it when you go onto the hub. All those videos, like all those sounds that you hear inside your ears, that's all positive reinforcement. Even though it's fake positive reinforcement, it's positive reinforcement. When you see a girl and you're slapping her stuff, you're thinking about all the things that you want to do to her. You're thinking about the pleasure that you want to go ahead and give to her. You're thinking about the pleasure that she's potentially giving towards you. That is all positive reinforcement. And again, you have to go ahead and just ask yourself this question. I need to ask myself this question as well, is when you're achieving things, when you're working towards things, are you giving yourself positive reinforcement? Even though I was supposed to go ahead and have a job interview today, even though I am a 20-year-old, um, went fully into my businesses, went to school again, and I am someone who's 20 years old compared to anyone else who is supposed to have job experience. I have zero job experience working in a place, and of course I've made mistakes in the past with that, and I'm grateful for my parents giving me the opportunities to go ahead and chase my business, to go ahead and do school and do those things. But I need to go ahead and return my favor, and of course in the past with my family as well, telling my older brothers to go ahead and get some work, go ahead and get a job and stuff like that. That has really negative impacted them because they reacted horribly towards giving them. Both of my older brothers went into that negative, like, unemployment, like, slump, where they had no work. My brother had like more circumstances stopping him getting work, but went into that deep rut, watching just consuming, watching shows, staying in the room all day, not really going anywhere, not even getting exercises, but that later on changed from my older brother, who really set the standard for us, me and my younger brother. I have four brothers. I'm the third youngest, and yeah, the negative impact in my parents, and they bad arguments and stuff like that, so they weren't as needy or pushy on us because they don't want the same thing to happen to them. But I realized that doing that is just I realized I need to step on my plate. I realized that it's common sense to go ahead and just get some more extra income in. Even though my business is not popping off, I need some extra income coming in. But the moral of the story is I'm not letting that determine me to go ahead and yank off because that got canceled, right? If I even get rejected, that making you go ahead and wank off is not the move to go ahead and do. Like you have done something today, legitimately. I have done many things today. Have I given myself positive reinforcement? No. Then this is my video. It is a video for me. Hey, you, me, and me. You did something well today, bro. You, and going towards you now. You have done something well today too, and you just don't give yourself enough credit for doing those things. It's the most silliest things ever. Like making your bed, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, grooming yourself, doing a meditation, journaling, right? Cleaning up whatever it is, making some random food. It's gratitude, right? When you think about gratitude, that puts you into a sense of abundance. And if you're in that state, you don't go ahead and search for random fake forms of validation. And validation is something that we all struggle with. Validation is something that we all crave. And for me, that the thing that has really helped with my validation, and I still need to continue to do this practice, is visualizing scenarios where the validation was not there. And yeah, the school, like a school, for example, is a spot that a lot of people try to go ahead and get validation from. And even though this is a Friday and no one is here, and I never showed up to the school on the Friday before. I only showed up for the interview. Now that which got canceled, but yeah, like the school environment is a perfect spot of trying to go ahead and chase validation. But the validation is something. It's internal. We always search for external reasons to go ahead and get validation, to go ahead and search for validation, but it's internal reasons. For me, it was a scenario where I got bullied in 3rd grade. Another scenario was in my early childhood, around 10, 11, 12. I had a really close friend group. Me, a guy which is he was 2 years older than me, a girl which is 3 years older than me. The guy and the girl both were having like a kind of relationship together, and you kind of have to just think about like their scenario too. Both of them like lost their fathers. I grew up in an environment where a lot of things don't happen really well to families, and which made families more closer to begin with. Made us more closer to begin with, but they were more so having like a relationship and stuff like that, and I was more so on the back end. I remember a scenario where they were both making out, like about to go ahead and go crazy, like in the girl's house, and I was trying to go ahead and get in, but they're locking the door and stuff like that, and I was trying to go ahead and get their attention. I was trying to get their validation, and because I was young at that time, I wanted to play. I wanted to play with my friends. I wanted to go out and play with toys and go ahead and tag, chase cops and robbers, wherever it is. That is stuff that I wanted to go ahead and do. And I'm not here blaming them. I'm not here blaming anyone else. No. Right? I'm not here, even the people I got bullied in 3rd grade with, I'm not blaming them for my life. No. But those are scenarios that I needed to go ahead and get validation from. And those are the key scenarios in trying to go ahead and get that validation internally. It's those situations right there. And there's many situations that just don't come to my mind right now, but we try to go ahead and get that validation from externally, from other things, from sexual attention, right? Those are things that we try to go ahead and get validation from. Even though I'm on my 2nd day of retention, that has been something I have just learned in general through my relapses, through my failures, is that, yeah, the validation is something that is a huge part of going into that in the first place, right? And if you want to go ahead and just master that sense of lust. It's that validation factor. If you're not chasing that validation, if you're comfortable of wearing like a tank top, for example, and not wearing it for the sense of validation, right? You're wearing it because yeah, you like the way it fits. You just like to wear it. You're not wearing it for the sense of attention. And if you're wearing it for that sense, then you're trying to go ahead and get that sexual attraction. You're trying to get those looks. You're trying to get that attention, and that could go ahead and take you down so many wrong paths. And yeah, giving yourself positive reinforcement through you accomplishing your things by you saying, hey man, like you just, if you get the urges to go ahead and release, just take a deep breath and just realize some of the great things that you've done today, right? Just realize some of the great things that you have done today. And think about, do I need a validation from this site? Do I need a validation from me pleasuring myself? Right? And if you don't think of anything today, I know you did something yesterday, the day before. I know you have been doing stuff. I know you have. There's something that you have accomplished. There's many things that you have accomplished. It's the small things, right? The small things are the things that we don't really realize. The small wins. Those are things that we really don't realize. And those are things that you really have to start go ahead and realizing, because those are the huge wins. And the smallest things can end up being the biggest things. And that is what we kind of have to go ahead and realize. Yeah, when I say we, I say you probably and me. And I'm nowhere close to being perfect. I have relapsed multiple times. I went back into a huge slump. And two, to finish off this too, if you end up like releasing without watching the sites, like, give yourself like that's okay, man. Like, okay, like, yeah, I did not watch the sites. There you go. There is a small one right there. You did not end up going onto the site. Yes, you did end up relapsing, but you did not go onto the sites. You did not end up looking up at a picture. Even it could be stuff on Instagram. You did not end up doing that. I know it might not have been like the best like feeling of that, because like when you go on the site, man, it's much more better than doing it without the site. It's way much better going to the site, because the amount of validation on there is so much positive reinforcement. And yeah, there's so much positive reinforcement on there. And just think about it, man. Just take this, go into a third person, like playing GTA. Like you're going to third person, or you're playing Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty's not third person. Is Warzone third person? Is Fortnite third person? I know one of those games is third person. I know GTA for surely is third person. Like, go into third person and imagine yourself like doing it. Like, okay, like imagine yourself on your phone, like you're about to go ahead and go crazy. Like, I've seen filler words I'm trying to go ahead and work on that. Imagine yourself like on the site and you're about to go ahead and go crazy. Put yourself in a third person perspective. What are you searching for? Where are you going on there? Think about that legitimately. Why are you going on there? Why are you searching for things? Why is your reason for want to go ahead and do this in the first place? Think about the past things. Think about the scenarios. If something has not gone well, maybe something didn't go well. Maybe something didn't go well. And sometimes we take so many things out of context. We take so many scenarios. Like, for example, if you get rejected by a girl, for example, it's just a rejection in general, maybe from jobs, work, girl. You take it so personally, so personally. You feel like you're the problem. You feel like 100% you're the problem. You get in a heated argument, it's your problem. You get into um whatever it is, you think it's 100% your problem. Of course, there is some things that were in your control, but also there are so many things out of your control. And you don't really realize the things that are out of your control. And if you start realizing things that are out of your control, then hey, it wasn't that bad in the first place. Right? For example, if you go ahead and ask out a girl and you end up she ended up saying she has a boyfriend, right? And you assess yourself. You say, hey man, even though I did stutter, like I blushed, and those things are you just gotta work on. There's nothing wrong in doing that, right? You eye contact was bad. There's nothing wrong in doing that. Nothing wrong in doing that. Right? At least, and if you did do it in the first place, like there's nothing bad in even approaching a a girl. Maybe you say it's some bad things that you did, like you ran up on her or something like that. Like that's something like that's in your control, and you go ahead and improve on that. But yeah, a validation is a huge factor in doing this in the first place. And stop searching for validation externally and go internally and realize that yeah, you are in a sense of abundance, and that is the closest thing to being to God. Peace.